I am 24, black, South American from Guyana. I'm a female, and I have Chinese and Indian in my blood. I do not think that people represent me on TV or film. I never grew up seeing anything positive about my ethnicity or my culture. I've always seen people bashing people of color and depicting us in a certain way that I don't agree on. I do not feel that people represent me as a whole in TV, theater, or film. Yes, I do believe other races and genders are represented in theater and film. But I also do feel that my race and other people's race, such as Latina, Asian, Korean, have been depicted in a bad way. People make fun of Koreans, for example. They say funny things, like they try to mimic how they speak, and they make fun of the things that they do, what type of foods they eat. I feel like that's very bad, and that's not a good interpretation of their ethnicity and their gender. I think the best people who act in people of color would be like Oprah Winfrey, Whoopi Goldberg, Tiffany Haddish. They do a good job in depicting who they are as a person. For example, Tiffany Haddish, she is a comedian and she makes funny jokes. She talks about her life and funny things, mostly about like traveling and foods. And just the other day, she was actually on the Met Gala and she had fried chicken in her bag. It's a humorous thing to have fried chicken in your bag, because most people say when you're black, oh, they always got food, or they always going to someone's flex and trying to eat. But she walked with her fried chicken, and it was pretty humorous to see that a lot of other people, when she walked out, she opened her bag and offered fried chicken. Everyone was laughing because it was humorous. It wasn't in any way intended to be disrespectful, because she is who she is. And I feel like it's easier for her to depict that because she is who she is. She's of the color to act that way. But if a person of non-color, well, to act out their role as a person of color, it would be seen kind of disrespectful, because if you're not that, don't try to be that. Don't try to be what you're not. Don't try to act black, as some would say. Certain words and slangs that black people use should not be used by other people, because the way they might say it may not be intended to be harmful, but in a black person's eyes, they're not going to see it that way. They're going to say you're trying to be funny, you're trying to make fun of us because of how we act. Not saying that we as a whole act right, but it just shows that people aren't really cool with that, and it's not a good thing to act what you're not. Yes, I do think people could play cross roles in theater or movie, but it depends on the role. If the role doesn't fit that person's character, then they shouldn't play it. For example, if there's a role of a mother that's having a baby and has a hard time struggling from jobs to jobs, or can't afford to pay for her kid's school, anyone can play that role, because at the end of the day, we're all humans. We all go through hardships. No matter what the color of your skin is, or no matter who you are, you still suffer. We all still suffer. We still all have problems at home or at school or work that we're dealing with. So I don't think that it's a problem to play certain roles. I do also think that people of their gender are allowed to play whatever gender they believe. There's nothing wrong in playing a different gender, because people these days have their own way of describing themselves. Some people want to be a female or want to be a male, want to have sex changes, or grew up that way. I don't see it as a problem, because it's just that person, and that's that person's way of coping with the world. I don't think it's a disorder or something's wrong with the person if they're different from everybody else, because each and every day we learn new things and people want to adapt to their environment. So if a person wants to be a different sex, I don't see there's a problem with it. What I do have a problem with is if that person that's trying to be a different sex disrespects the opposite sex, then that's a problem. I think everybody should be equal when they're speaking about gays or straight or even bi. Like, I don't see it to be a problem, but people have to watch how they speak and how they talk to others, because it can be very condescending. And I do believe 20% of the Latina race have been neglected. People talk bad about them. People talk about how they always make babies, or how they can't get a job, or they're criminals. I do not believe with that statement, because at the end of the day, everybody has the right to have a good life. People always depict each race as a problem. Some people say, oh, black people are bad, or white people are too rich, or Chinese people are too smart. All that stereotypical shit I don't like, and I believe that it should change. I do see a lot of change. There's a lot of controversy in the social media, on TV, the things that we watch. People say wrong things and do wrong things, and I don't think that's right. But at the end of the day, as a whole, if you know what you are, believe in yourself and continue to go forward. Don't let nobody shape you from not seeing who you are as a person. I think inequality on TV and social media should change the way they try to target people. Yes, they try to do things that are humorous and funny for people, but I don't think they should make fun of each other's race or ethnicity or sexual beings. I think people should come together and really sit down and make sure that certain roles that they play don't offend anybody's race or sexuality. I think the media needs to dim it down when they try to depict people of a certain culture and not make fun of anyone, because it's not a good thing to be made fun of. People should work hard in terms of really focusing and doing what they have to do. I really believe that people really have to work hard and do what they have to do. Now, going back to what I said earlier, I do believe that all human beings have the right to have their freedom of speech and really believe in what they want to. I don't think people should stop you from being who you are, but I don't think you also shouldn't try to be somebody you're not. In terms of discriminating someone, that's not cool. I think everybody should have an equal right to act any role they want, once again. But do keep in mind, try not to offend anyone. Be careful what you say. Everybody goes through hardships, no matter what color or blood you are. We all have the same problems. We all are fighting for freedom still to this day. fighting for our voice to be heard, fighting for happiness, fighting for love, fighting for many things, fighting a disease, fighting a hardship. But at the end of the day, we all are one. We're all equal. We're all human beings. Those who believe in religion and those who don't believe in religion, we still are human beings. At the end of the day, we bleed the same way. We are gonna die, we are gonna bleed, we are going to live. And that's what I believe. I believe that everyone is equal and nobody should have any thoughts of inequality. Thank you.